want to introduce Dr. Melissa Phillippe, who's a singer-songwriter and teacher with 9 albums of original music in release. She's also a Toltec mentor, personally trained by Don Miguel Ruiz, author of The 4 Agreements. Her wife, Reverend Z. Egloff, is a cartoonist, spoken word artist, and author of the spiritual humor blog, Life in the ZD, a goofball's guide to enlightenment. Melissa and Z are the founders of Oh My God Life, an online and traveling ministry. Their mission is to bring radical joy to the world. So we welcome Reverend Z, Reverend Melissa up to the podium for their special talk for us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all today? Awesome. Cool. Oh my God. Oh my God. We've already heard it a few times today. We want to talk this morning about the power of that phrase, oh my God, and the power of the creative process. So here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we know a little bit about the creative process. We know that there is one power, one presence in and through all creation. All creation includes me, it includes you, it includes everything, right? And so then what we've figured out here at CSL is that's where it gets really fun. Because if I am part of that creative energy and that creative power, that means that I am a creative being and that I can create my life with my mind, my thoughts, my beliefs, my emotions, right? Yes. And I don't know about any of you, but a lot of times when we first figure that out, that good news, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to start manifesting some stuff, right? Yeah. Because I can create with my mind, yeah. And often, especially at first, it goes really well and all kinds of things. And then we get to that thing that we want to manifest and it just isn't happening. Can I get an amen? Amen? All right? And then sometimes, you guys probably don't do this, but I might sometimes say, what's wrong with my consciousness that I can't create this, right? And that's not really helpful. And what we need in those moments is co-creation with the divine. That's the way out of those seemingly stuck places, is co-creation with the divine. So that's what we want to talk about today. Are you up for that? Okay. Melissa is going to get us started. Let's go. So, well, there's a switch. It's not them, it's you.
Awesome. So, actually, I'm going to take that off.
We're co-creating with Chris, our marvelous sound engineer.
So, co-creating. Also, you could use the word collaboration, right? And the definition of collaboration is working together with someone else to create something new. That's the definition. Working together with someone else to create something new. You with me?
Yep.
Well, what sometimes, I don't know about you, but I forget is the part, as a science of mind person, working together with someone, or in this case, something else, other and other. It isn't just me working in my consciousness and creating something. That's not all that's happening. So in the co-creation process, we're collaborating and we're working with something else, someone, something, however you think of the divine, the all. I call it Ta, which is short for the all, right? It's just my relationship with God. So when we're collaborating, what I have noticed about collaborating is that it's much better when I have good communication with the person with whom I'm collaborating, right? When you can actually say what you think and feel to this person or being, and they listen to you and hear you and respond, and you can hear them, right? So co-creating with the divine means having a relationship with the divine. So part of the process of increasing our ability to collaborate or co-create is developing, nurturing that relationship. Meditation, prayer, seeing practitioners, ministers, coming here, classes, all these things nurture that relationship so that we can more comfortably talk to our best friend, the divine. Speak to and hear. So this is talking about a kind of different aspect of the divine because we know that Spirit is everywhere and in us, and I'm talking about it sort of like the I, thou, like it's outside of me as well as everywhere and in me. But there is also that relating. It has to be not just me, right? So I didn't used to really have a very evolved relationship in that way, that aspect. I had a lot of the Spirit is everything, Spirit is me. And then I signed up for ministerial school. Woohoo! After many years of kicking and screaming, I did that. And Z and I both were in school most of the time together. And one of the things that we experienced early on in one of our classes was this invitation to deepen in that aspect of our relationship with the divine, that other, that someone you can talk to and hear and like that in a different way. Are you following me? Awesome. And so one day I was having this really annoying, challenging series of communications with a business person. And we were kind of sort of collaborating, but I wouldn't really have called it that. And I got this particularly nasty email from this person. Very demeaning, kind of, that's the worst for me when someone's like, yeah. So I got one of those emails from this person, and when I am really in it, like not in a good place kind of in it, but in it, stuck, I go to the beach. I go to my favorite beach, and I walk on the beach. And so I went to the beach. Now, the whole time I'm driving to the beach, I'm knowing I'm going to get to the beach, and I'm going to talk to Spirit, about this email, this person, what the heck do I do? How do I respond in a way that seems, at least on the outside, ministerial-like? Right? And not respond from my reaction, which was not ministerial at all, if you know what I mean. So I get to the beach. I get down to where along the water, and I turn to walk, and I hear come out of my voice, Spirit, why are you making me go to ministerial school? And I start kind of getting all choked up. I felt like such a victim of my schedule at that point. And I hear this very clear, loud response that says, you have no idea. It literally stopped me in my tracks. Tears sprang to my eyes. I was like, oh dear. And then I heard it again. You have no idea. And I knew in that moment that what I was hearing was this invitation to know that there is this greater calling. Spirit told me to go to ministerial school. I did not want to go, but it wouldn't shut up. So finally I gave in. It wasn't my idea. And Spirit had something radical, wonderful, something beyond my fabulous favorite fantasy of good for me on the other side of it, if I would just have faith. I also knew that from hearing you have no idea, I was being told, like, kind of shut up, you have no idea. Right? So that is the kind of thing that I now experience because I have been deepening that relationship so that there's better communication, so there's better collaboration, so I can hear like that, right? Now, the other thing about collaboration is, okay, so has anybody here ever collaborated with someone who is just telling you what to do and you're supposed to think you're collaborating with them? Not just me. That's awesome. Yeah. So it's not very fun, right? That is not fun. And collaboration can bring way better things than any one of us can do. Has anyone ever noticed that? Like, oh, I have this great idea, and then someone goes, well, what if you, and you're like, whoa, that's even better, like that. It can totally do that. But if you have someone who's just dictating, it's not very fun. And what I used to do when I was praying and doing spiritual mind treatment, I was dictating. I was telling Spirit, bring me this. Here's how. Here's when. Here's my list. That's how I prayed. So my invitation this morning for you is also that you leave room for Spirit to have some fun.
Yeah.
Right? Because trust me, when we leave it open, as Ernest Holmes said, open at the top. When we leave it open for Spirit to take the vision and make it better before making it so, it will blow your mind. Which brings me to 3 hacks. So Z and I use these 3 hacks. One is, oh my God. So that's the phrase that both of us tend to do when we are happily surprised. When some like good surprising thing happens and we go, oh my God, that's so cool, right? That's our phrase. My invitation to you this morning is to contact what is your phrase? What is it when you get that phone call or that piece of mail with happy news, a surprising check, whatever it is that brings you great joy? What is it? What's the phrase that comes to mind? Holy, houlda, woulda. Whatever it is. And we have had many people tell us their phrase, and many I cannot say on this stage.
Some are very colorful.
But they are very entertaining. Whatever it is that you would really autonomically respond with, what just comes up for you, that's your phrase. And when we use that phrase in prayer, it helps to bring up the emotions we will feel when we have the answered prayer. With me? Because the emotion is the magnetic force. The imagining, as I know you've heard many times from this podium, is to feel that you have the answered prayer as if you already have it. That's what brings it. That's where Spirit goes, oh, I see. You want to feel like that. Okay, I can make you feel like that, plus some, if you leave room, right? So that just helps me get the feeling going. Oh my God. And then we have two other phrases that we love that are our other two hacks. One is, this is more amazing than I could even have imagined. Oh my God, this is more amazing than I could even have imagined or dreamed it to be. Better than my wildest fantasy. Then you're really leaving room. You're just saying, I'm going to feel totally blown away. I just want to say, it can be a little dangerous because my experience of the manifested answers to these prayers often is total overwhelm. It is way beyond what I was fathoming, and it was kind of a little outside of what I dreamed in a good way, but I have to really breathe to let it in because it's so amazingly awesome. It's really cool. The other phrase is beyond my wildest dreams, which I said in there somewhere. So better than I could even have imagined and beyond my wildest dreams. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's my tip for the morning. Z?
Yes. Okay, so about 11 years ago now, I went to Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa to hear a talk by this person named Melissa Phillippe, who I had never met before. I just knew she was a singer and was speaking that evening. And so she gives this talk, and as part of the talk, in the talk was the idea of this phrase, oh my God, beyond my wildest dreams. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, because at that point, I was a good little metaphysician, and I had worked this philosophy for several decades, and I had had a lot of success with affirmations, with manifestations through meditation and prayer. But there was one area that I found a little bit challenging. And that was the area of relationships, particularly partnership relationships. So ever since I had first embarked upon the wild and wacky world of intimate relationships, I'd had a few challenges. First of all, there was figuring out my sexual orientation. That took some time. I was raised in Ohio in the 70s. So the whole gay thing, that took a while, but finally I got that gay, okay, check. Then there was my gender expression, also took a little while. I came to California though, and finally got that, like, okay, gender rich, all right, check. Okay, I got that. Okay, so I had all that finally figured out. But then, so maybe some of you can relate to this. I had this pattern of being attracted to unavailable people. Oh yeah. So if someone really liked me, I didn't find them attractive at all. And if someone wanted nothing to do with me, I found them very, very attractive. Yeah, so needless to say, this whole thing wasn't really working for me very well. So when I'm hearing Melissa give this talk, and she's talking about this idea of co-creation with the divine and using this phrase, more amazing than anything I can imagine, I'm thinking, yes, that's what I need in my prayer. Because what I'm imagining is not working. What I'm imagining is bringing me more of what's not working for me. And actually, at that point, when I heard this talk 11 years ago, I had been actively working a 5-step treatment, a 5-step prayer about a relationship, and mostly what I was attracting was more of the same, that pattern of unavailability. So I said, yes, 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 yes. This is what I'm going to do. I was very excited. And you might wonder what I thought about the Melissa Phillippe person. Well, I thought she was, I didn't get it, that she was my soulmate as I was sitting there listening. I thought she was really creative. I thought that was cool. I liked that she was so devoted to the spiritual path. I liked that she had a smart Alex sense of humor. I liked that too. So she just seemed like a really cool person. So I went up to her afterwards because I was so excited about the talk and this idea of I'm going to co-create now, I'm going to co-create. And she doesn't remember me at all. She just remembers this kind of odd, enthusiastic, gender-rich person coming up to her and chatting her up and whatever. So I go on my merry way, and I'm working my prayer, okay? I am working it. I'm working my co-creation. Oh my God, more amazing than anything I can imagine. So I noticed a little pattern when I was doing my practice, and that was that when I was doing this prayer and I'm working this prayer, I kept seeing a specific person. I kept seeing a woman with short blonde hair. And you know, we talk about not limiting the divine, right? Not boxing the divine, not outlining is a term we use here, right? I'm not going to be outlining. And I thought, well, no, I'm not outlining. I'm psychic. That's what it is. I just happen to be seeing what's coming. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm working this. About a year after I first heard the Melissa Phillippe person talk, I go to a retreat called Woman Spirit in Northern California, and who should be the music director but Melissa Phillippe? And this time she did not ignore me. She came and actually wanted to talk to me because I had published a book at that point. She wanted to talk about the book, so we're chatting away. And we noticed that we really just kind of wanted to talk to each other. There was like 100 women at this retreat, but we didn't really want to talk to them. We just really wanted to talk. But you know, it's a women's retreat, so you have to be all namaste, and you know, you can't ignore anybody. So we had to talk to, we were like, no-maste, like no, but we had to really, you know. So what happened was after the retreat, I went for a piano lesson with her because I was just starting to play keys. I'm classically trained, but I was starting to play contemporary keys, and so I went for 2 lessons with her, and the second lesson we talked for 4.5 hours. Now, neither one of us got what was going on. Neither one of us got it. We were both actually, at the time, working a prayer about more amazing than I can ever imagine, but she thought she was straight, and I was waiting for the woman with short blonde hair. I knew where I was going. But we knew that there was something going on. We thought we'd met our new best friend, and then about 2 months into it, we were both like, oh, that's what this is, and this is more amazing than anything I could imagine. And here we are, 10 years later, and it's so amazing because not only is it an amazing relationship, but then so many other things have come. You know, it's sort of like watch out for answered prayer sometimes because you think your whole life's going to stay the same and then the answered prayer. No. When you say more amazing than I could imagine, that happens, and then everything else gets rearranged. So sometimes, you know, that's why there's a little bit of a warning label with when you start praying like this. So now you might say, well, Z, what about that woman with short blonde hair? Here's the thing. I think Spirit did plant that image in my head. Because here's the thing about that unavailable pattern. I was the one who was unavailable, right? That's why that's what I was attracting to me. So because I had this vision in my head, I didn't get it. I was able to be available to a friendship first with Melissa. I was available for that so that I could then step into that relationship. So, here's the question for you. Is there something in your life that you have been unavailable for? Something that you want to now be available to and co-create with the divine to be available to? Melissa's going to lead you in a little process with that.
So nice. I would like you to bring that area of your life to mind. And close your eyes. If you're comfortable doing so, sit comfortably.
You're helping.
Okay, So bringing that phrase to mind, that is your phrase, that just comes up for you when a happy thing happens. What I want you to do is imagine being absolutely blown away by that area of your life. Just feel into the feeling of being totally, completely happy, blown away about that area of your life, that aspect, that detail. And then say that phrase to yourself. Oh my God, or whatever it is. So because oh my God is my phrase, I'm going to use that phrase, but what I want you to do is, when I say repeat after me, internally in your mind, say your phrase. So think about that area. Oh my God. Hold that in mind. Feel it. Oh my God. Feel it. Oh my God. This is way better than I ever would have imagined it could be. I wouldn't even have thought of any of this stuff. It's so amazing. Oh my God. Way beyond my wildest dreams. Feel it. Feel that. Wow. And breathe into your heart. Breathe that in and anchor that feeling there in your heart. As we go into prayer, knowing that this feeling, this is the all. There is nothing and no one, no aspect of life, nothing, anywhere, anything that isn't the all. Spirit, the divine. It doesn't matter what we call it, because no name can possibly contain the power, the love, the presence of this one. It is infinite. And that is what I am. That is what we each and all are. We are made of that one. The substance and the supply of everything, of everyone, every breath, every heartbeat, every cell, and the space between the atoms within you, infinitely present. It goes out forever. It goes in and through you, us, each of us, forever. Infinite. It is infinitely present right where you sit. And it is this one that we turn our life over to, trusting and knowing that it has greater good for us than we can imagine. Oh my God. So we allow the joy that is the divine presence of joy to be who we are. We allow love beyond our wildest dreams to pour through our consciousness, infusing our thinking and our knowing, shifting any beliefs that need to be shifted, anchoring us in love, in joy, in peace. A peace that comes from every moment, trusting, knowing that that place where you are right now, God circled on a map for you. Knowing that in each moment, I allow this to move through each of us more fully, this knowing, this connection with the divine. And grateful to know that it is the divine's great pleasure to make this and better so. We say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much for all the good that comes from this surrender and letting it go. Understanding that it is done. We let it be. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.